Guys, as you can see here, how do you create a new firewall rule in VPC private network in Google Cloud Platform? As I mentioned all the steps, as you can see here, you can go through one by one, then you can easily create a new firewall rule based on your project requirement. I'll show you inside the lab all details so that you can easily understand it. And based on your project requirement, you can create it. Guys, let's switch to the GCP Web Console portal page. Guys, as you can see here, I have already logged in inside the GCP console web portal page. Then click on navigation menu bar, click on VPC network. As you can see here, click on VPC network here. Now guys, as you can see here, the two VPC network is available here. One is default VPC network and another is VPC private one. This is the private VPC network created by any user, and default already, as you know guys, this is created by Google. Now guys, I'll guide you how do you create a new firewall rule based on your project requirement. Guys, do you know why need for the firewall rule? Basically guys, whenever I'll create or you'll create a new Linux server using your desired VPC private network, then after successfully created your Linux server, then you'll try to connect via SSH, but SSH required though enable the port number, already you know guys, 22, and all the port number required. So how do you define your port number so that you can easily connect it via SSH in your Linux server, so that the firewall rule is required. Now guys, as you can see here, this is the one firewall section is here. Then you can click on firewall here. Now guys, I'll guide you how to create a new firewall rule here based on your project requirement. Guys, as you can see here, create a firewall rule button is available here. Click on create firewall rule here. Then guys, first fill the name of the firewall rule here. The name of the firewall as my new firewall rule. Then guys, as you can see here in the log section, if you want to read the logs, then click on here. But before you can select on here guys, then you can read all the information here, because it can generate cost for logging. Then you can always select off for your practical purpose guys. You can select off here. Then in the network section guys, as you can see here, two network is available. One is default network, another is VPC private network. You can select based on your project requirement guys. Here you can see only two VPC network. In the real time project work, you can visible 10-15 private VPC network here, but you can select your desired VPC network based on your project requirement guys. Now guys, I'll select the VPC private one here. Then you can leave this field priority section guys. This is 1000. As you can see here, the priority range can be 0 to 65,535. But if you want to add the priority here, then based on your requirement guys, you can add here, but you can leave as default 1000 here. Then guys, the direction to the traffic, ingress and egress. You know guys, ingress means is the incoming traffic and egress is the outgoing traffic. But based on your project requirement, if you need for that egress, then you can select egress here. If you want to ingress, then you can select ingress here. Then action on match, then always you can select allow here guys. Then guys, as you can see in the target section, you can specify your tags. Suppose you have any the network tags, then you have to HTTP for an example, or you can the web app, then you can add your tag here. But you don't have any tag, then you can always select guys in your specified service account in the real world project also, you can select the specified your service account. Then you can select your service account here guys. I selected the default service account here, but you have in the real-time project you have multiple service account here, but you can select your desired service account based on your project requirement guys. Then guys, as you can see here, then source filter is IPv4 ranges. Then you can add 0.0.0.0 to allow all the IPv4 ranges here. But if you have the specific IPv4 ranges for your web application, then you can add here, for an example, 10.0.2.0 / then the CIDR range like the 24, 16, 8 based on 12, whatever in your project requirement you can add here guys. Then guys, you can, the next is the second source filter, destination filter, you can leave as it is, that is not required. Now guys, I'll guide you in our upcoming session for the project migration session so that you can easily understand it. Now guys, I'll guide you in the protocol and port section. This is very important guys. But guys, in the real-time project you can always select for the specified protocol and port section here. As you can see here, the default selected here as the specified protocol and port. I'll show you again. This is selected allow all. Now I'll selected specified protocol and ports here. Then you can select here the TCP, UDP and other. Then this is the port number guys. Suppose your desired port number is 22 RDP port, as you can see here, 3389 80 443, whatever the port. If you want for the TCP, then you can add here. If you want to add the UDP also, then you can add the UDP port here also. For an example, you can add the other protocol, ICMP for an example, then you can add here. Guys, if you only do for your practical purpose, if you select allow all, then by default it will allow all the ports. You no need to require to predefine for the specific port inside the specified protocol and port section. Now guys, I hope so you can understand. Then as you can see here guys, this is the create button is available here. Before click on create button, you can review for your all the information is correct or not. If all the information is correct according to your project, then you can click on create button here. As you can see here, then wait a couple of seconds to create your firewall rule. Now guys, as you can see here, the firewall rule successfully created here. Now this is your custom firewall rule. Click on firewall rule here guys. Then as you can see here, all the information is available here. You can visible the network, private network type, service account, IPv4 ranges and all the information detail here. Now guys, I hope so you can understand how to create a firewall rule based on your project requirement. Now guys, I'll guide you how to create a customized firewall rule using the GCP CLI command. Guys, as you can see here, this is the Cloud Shell window terminal, and this is a simple command for create a new firewall rule using the GCP CLI command. Guys, as you can see here, this is the G Cloud Compute project ID. As you can see here, then firewall rules, then create, and this is the name of the firewall rule as my CLI firewall rule. As you can see here, then I selected as private network VPC private one and allow the source ranges as 0.0.0.0 and the service account I selected as default here. Then guys, you can press enter and click on authorize and wait a couple of seconds. As you can see here, creating a new firewall rule based on our project requirement. As you can see here, the VPC firewall rule successfully created here. Now let's switch to the web portal page, then click on firewall rule guys here. Guys, as you can see here, this is your new firewall rule. My CLI firewall rule is successfully created here now. Then as you can see here, all the information detail here guys. Now guys, I hope so you can understand how do you create a new firewall rule using the GCP CLI command. Thank you and have a great day. See you in the next session.